All right, here we are. So tonight is kind of a rare instance situation. Normally we get to the field to go fly at least an hour before sunset, sometimes 2 hours, so we can goof around, hang out and everything. But legit, the sun is setting behind me. It is 8:13, so we got like 10 minutes till sunset probably, and I'm just about to launch. We were over at the park. It was windy as all heck, and I had given up hope. But then we were driving home and I was like, it might be doable. So now we're here, and it's still a little bit windy, but we're gonna send it anyway. What I wanna talk about tonight is an interesting topic. The 5 things I hate about the Scoutmobile. And huge, gigantic disclaimer, I don't hate the Scoutmobile. This is just a fun topic because obviously if you've been watching my videos, the last 5 years at least, I've been flying a Scout. And I love the Scout, and it's my #1 choice go-to paramotor, but nothing in the world is perfect. Of course, the Scout has some things that I wish were better, and I've never really made a video discussing all-encompassing the 5 things that I would change about the Scout. We are not hating on the Scout, but if they were to make a version 2, these are some things that I would change about it. Interesting other fun fact about the Scout. If you guys have been following the last couple videos, I discussed that we're coming up on a huge Risky Biscuits Co., boom, right there with the logo, summer merch drop. And along with that comes the world's biggest Risky Biscuits Co. giveaway. What we're gonna be giving away, get ready for your mind to be blown, is a Scout Carbon. And not just that, extra mind-blowing moment, it's gonna come with training with my good friends at Team Fly Halo. They're sponsoring not only a brand new Scout Carbon, potentially one of the most badass paramotors out there, but also training on how to fly your Scout Carbon. Huge thank you to those guys. We're gonna have more details on the whole giveaway, so stay tuned. You can't enter yet. It's not live yet, so super awesome fun times. I need to get up in the air. I think what I'm gonna do is blast off and go really high, and then just like glide down when we talk. So that's the goal at least. Hopefully we don't biff it. GoPro? Is it recording?
Yeah.
Hopefully this time it freaking gets audio and it doesn't have an SD card error and destroy all my footage like the last 2 times I tried to film a video for YouTube.
I'm sorry.
Did that sound salty?
Yeah, against GoPro.
GoPro! F you! 5 things I hate about my GoPro. It shuts off. It shuts off. It shuts off.
So I just ran my motor pretty wide open. We're up here at 5,000 feet. Got that climb rate with my 3-blade prop available on tuckergott.com, link in the description. And I'm just up here kind of doing my little circle thing, making sure I'm aware of my traffic around me. And we got this guy. I can't identify what type of plane that is. He's too far, but he's definitely circling me. My strobe seems to be working. He's probably like, what the hell is this Paramotor doing up here at 5,000 feet, man? We nearly climbed above this kind of hazy layer. You can still see it off that way, but if you look back towards the sunset, we're almost above it. This is pretty freaking cool. I think I'm gonna come to idle, and what we'll do is we'll just gracefully float down. Maybe I'll add power in at some point. But I'll talk about the 5 things that I would change on the Scoutmobile. Some of these things are things that you can't really expect to change because of the laws of physics. But like I said, this isn't too really rag on the Scout. I love the Scout, and it's almost more of a reason to recommend a Scout because there's only 5 things and they're all kind of nitpicking. So the first one is a pretty interesting one in my opinion, and that is the balance of the paramotor. And I'm talking about the balance on the ground. When you set the paramotor down, the Scout is particularly front heavy. So if you have a little bit of incline, which most of the time when I set the Scout on like an average grassy field, you'll be on a slight hill and it'll want to tip over and fall on its beautiful face. So I normally put the Scout down and then I have to turn it 90 degrees, and try to get it at the angle that it's slightly uphill so that it doesn't fall on its face. So that's kind of like the least problematic criticism, and as we go up to number 5, we'll get to more problematic. So number 2 on my list, look at those lights starting to come on out there. But anyway, number 2 is the pull starter. And the thing with the Scout pull starter is it's linked to the engine, but there's like a pulley mechanism that most pull starters go through. And on the Scout, it's kind of below and behind your left shoulder. And that means you have to basically grab it and punch up at the sky. So a lot of people find it hard to start. And the thing is, if you pull down rather than punch the sky, you'll quickly find out, just like Woody did, that the pull starter cord will burn the shit out of your neck or out of your shoulder strap. If you guys observe down here, there's a school by my toe, and there's a football field with a track around it. And if you watched one of my older videos, I actually flew around the entire track, nearly foot dragging. I didn't actually foot drag, but I was like a foot off the ground the whole time. And it's hilarious that you can do that with a paramotor. Like, I'm up here, I was at 5,000 feet, like a real big boy airplane. And then you can go down and fly in a circle in that little confined area. Okay, number 3 on my list is the reserve placement. So the Scout does something pretty unique, and they have an underseat reserve. And I can't say I know of another single paramotor that does that. And I'll say the one pro about that is when I was doing the Icarus race, I used the underseat reserve because I basically didn't have any other option. I had baggage and fuel strapped to my front, so having the underseat reserve was a real lifesaver in that situation. But the disadvantage of the underseat reserve is when you take off and land or you foot drag and you're out of your seat, there's this additional bulk that goes behind your butt and the frame. And what that translates to is it makes you lean forward when you're standing and you want to lean back. So it's also like a technique thing. You can kind of get used to it. But personally, when I'm just flying for fun, doing foot drags, doing touch and goes, I prefer to have the underseat completely empty. So that's why I opt to put my reserve right here on my lap. And the way I do it is kind of jankily rigged. I have the bridle coming out the side here. It's electrical taped, which will break away. It comes down onto my lap and enters the reserve container, which I have through the lower belly strap of the harness. I would love to see a factory option, like an integrated front mount, or potentially 3 different options. Be able to choose if you want underseat, side, other side, or front mount. Like, that would be sick. That would be prime golden for me. Let's do a random barrel roll. I'm trimmed in for greater efficiency, I guess. Yeah, that's nice. So number 4 on the list of things I dislike about the Scout, this is a big one, and I think it applies to a lot of different paramotors, and that is the weight. Is that an airplane? 10 times out of 10, if you're a paramotor pilot, having a lighter motor is nice. It makes things easier. Even just carrying your paramotor to the garage, it'll make easier. So I wish there was a way to make the Scout lighter, you know, shed 10, 15 pounds. I feel like that would make any paramotor pilot's day. You know, if you could fill the thing with helium, maybe that would be cool. Make it negative weight, the dirigible paramotor. You know, that would be sick. Alright, I'm gonna meander to the far side of the airport and we'll just hover over it. But number five reason of things I don't like about the Scout, and that is the fragileness. I don't know how to turn that into a more technical word. The Scout is fragile, and I feel like this is one of those things that you're buying the Scout, which is one of the more high-performance paramotors on the market, and the thing the Scout is known for is its aerodynamic torque compensation. The way that these fins or struts are actually airfoils twist the air to counteract torque, and that's something that the Scout does really, really well. And not a lot of other paramotors actually do. It's pretty unique. And in order to do that, you obviously need to have airfoil shaped spars, which are kind of best made out of carbon fiber. And carbon fiber is sick. It looks beautiful. I love carbon fiber, but the disadvantage is it's more fragile. But that's kind of something you accept when you purchase it. It's like if you were to buy a Ferrari, yeah, you know you're gonna get crazy performance out of your Ferrari, but if you get rear-ended, that thing's gonna crumble. It's not gonna hold up like your average Civic. So it's always a trade-off. Performance to durability to weight. Everything out there, I think in wings and motors, in all of it, is always gonna be a trade-off. And it really comes down to what things you value most. And me, as a Scout pilot, those 5 things I obviously overlook easily, because what the Scout provides to me is like the best geometry I've ever felt in a paramotor. Partially because of the aerodynamic torque compensation, and partially because of the way the harness is situated and the geometry of the arms and everything else. It's just a pleasure to fly. It feels like you're in a little freaking race car jetmobile instead of like a lawn chair strapped to a fan. I don't know if you guys can see, but my wing is flashing with every strobe. I'm gonna do a video talking about what I did for my strobe thingy in a video probably called How Not to Get Hit by an Airplane While Flying a Paramotor. Jacqueline called me. Oh shit, she said definitely stronger, I'd come down. That's not good news, folks! Yeah, I'm getting into the bumps now. I think it'll be fine. Oh yeah, right here at this altitude, it's getting spicy. Good thing I can still see the ground. Ain't no low flying today. It's very unpredictable type turbulence. But we got it. I mean, we don't got it till we're on the ground. We got it. We got it. We got it. Yeah. I probably would have pooed myself. That's what you're saying? Well, it's too late, Jacqueline. I already did. Holy mackerel. Do you see this wind? I just got a reminder to take out my trash. Tonight's trash night. Jacqueline called me 3 times, messaged me 3 times saying the wind was getting worse. I think I was giving her a small panic attack. But it is pretty freaking windy down here. It's crazy how that works. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the 5 things I dislike about the Scoutmobile. Once again, I love the Scoutmobile, and you should win a Scoutmobile in the Risky Biscuits Code giveaway, teamed up with Team Fly Halo, because why not? Free Scout, free training,
what could be better. I said in a previous video, I was like, you know, all you'd have to do is buy your wing. And a lot of people were like, you have to buy a wing to enter? That's not what I meant. And I apologize if it came off that way. The way to enter is going to be like all our past giveaways. I'll give all the details on that when it actually drops. But no, you don't have to buy a wing to enter. You just have your paramotor, you'd have your training, and all you'd end up having to do if you want to keep flying is buy a wing for your size if you're the winner. So yeah, clarification on that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till the next one, peace.